Life. What is real anymore? It's time to pull back the curtains of reality and explore life in hologram. Unlock our library hidden deep within the matrix and are ready to of the cosmos. Come in as we discuss everything from spirituality, psychics, healers, ghosts, as well as UFOs, and the unknown. It's time to forget what you think you know and explore life in the hologram.
It's time to unmute, Madeline.
I guess that's it. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's a good somewhere in the universe as we speak. And welcome to Life Hologram on radio with the magnificent Madeline and Carol B. Tumblety. Here's our cards for today. I better take this thing out of my mouth here. Waves of change. Embrace change. Paradigm shift. Ride the waves of light. Choose peace. Be gentle with yourself and others. Self-care, time, and compassion. I knew I was going to do that sooner or later, Karen.
It's done. Yep. I like the cards, Madeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great. And we also have lined up.
Yes, we
and
do.
I'm going to read you off. We have two wonderful guests. We have Bonnie and Kaarin are the opportunity coaches. We champion intuitive growth, body neutrality, and positivity. We believe in the transformative power of intuitive guidance and the healing of lives through self-discovery. Our mission is to empower individuals to unlock their inner potential and embrace the journey of personal growth. We commit to guiding our clients with empathy, understanding, and deep insight, fostering a space where intuition and opportunity merge to create a pathway to true fulfillment and well-being. Every step taken with a step towards more authentic and enlightened self, and so is. And the website is www.theopportunitycoaches.com, and we will go out again. And I'm going to read you Bonnie Mashack. Bonnie Mashack is a published author, counselor, life coach, and intuitive specialist with 25 years of experience and co-owner of the world-renowned counseling duo, The Opportunity Coaches. Born with a deep fascination for human psychology, she pursued her passions academically and professionally. Bonnie's unique approach combines traditional counseling with intuitive practices, making her a sought-after expert in her field. She has authored several influential books, hosts a popular podcast, and conducts workshops and seminars globally. Her work emphasizes self-awareness, intelligence, and the power of intuition in personal growth. Dedicated to lifelong learning, Bonnie continues to inspire and mentor others in their journey towards holistic well-being and self-discovery. Kaarin Alisa is a published author, teacher, and intuitive advisor, and co-owner of the world-renowned counseling duo, Opportunity Coaches. Kaarin is a catalyst for spiritual growth and personal transformation. For over 45 years, Kaarin has honed her abilities as an intuitive and spiritual advisor, certified clinical hypnotherapist, teacher, and energy practitioner. She has helped people from all walks of life realign their highest truth so they are better able to do their dreams and ambitions. Kaarin has written many books, including Journey of a Prophet, Jesus Tells His Story. And welcome to Bonnie and Kaarin.
Yeah, welcome back to Life in the Hologram.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, we're so happy to be here. It's so good to meet you, Caroline and Madeline, to see you again.
Yeah.
Madeline, see you again, Caroline. What a pleasure. Thank you.
Caroline's from Scotland.
Yes, I can.
We can tell, yes.
I'm going to gather that.
And where are you ladies? Where are you right now? Where are you calling from?
I'm in California in the Bay Area.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yes. And we backwoods in a very tiny little town in Mississippi, United States.
Wonderful. And Madeline, you're in Pennsylvania, and I'm in Scotland. So we're
awesome.
We're all over. We're all over.
Yeah.
Wow.
We are.
Wow, what a gift.
So it's morning for you, Caroline, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
7 minutes past 3 in the morning. Mm-hmm.
Oh my.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
She's amazing, isn't she?
Absolutely.
I love this time. It's so quiet here, It's a nice time in the morning. So
yeah, 3 a.m. It's quiet everywhere, we think. Maybe not in Las Vegas, but it's quiet mostly everywhere.
Yeah. So the opportunity coaches. This is a great. It's a great title, and it's the website. So coaches.
Tell us all about it.
Go ahead, Bonnie.
Well, to kind of give you kind of a quick overview of how we even came about, considering I'm in California and Kaarin's in Mississippi, and very two different individuals with the same desire that is to help people, help heal people's hearts and learn their intuition and how that intuition can change their life. Kaarin and I met in 2005 at a mega marketing event by Mark Victor Hansen, who is one half of the Chicken Soup for the Soul partnership. Yes, and we were both there looking to write our books that our intuitions both told us that we needed to write. I was having breakfast in the hotel, and in walks this beautiful, big, gorgeous beauty, and she was looking around the room for a place to sit, and my intuition said, ask her to come to your table, and your life will never be the same. And that's what I did, and from there, we became instant friends. We happened to be born on the same day.
Oh, wow.
A few years apart, but we grew our friendship, and we always had a desire to build a business together, but through different ups and downs throughout the years, it didn't work. But in 2023, I contacted Kaarin and I said, my intuition is telling me it's time. And she agreed, and here we are.
Yep.
So now
it didn't take long.
How's the business what's your procedure here?
Well, we are 100%, at the moment, we're 100% virtual. So we do all of our work over the web. If we see somebody one-on-one, then we work with them over the telephone or Zoom. But we are mostly now concentrated on larger groups. We're going to do more webinars, more classes and courses, and really feel like it's time for us to broaden our client base and get more people signed on for the changes that we're all going to go through.
And what are some of those changes?
Oh, they're happening.
Yeah. I think if we watch the news enough, we see the changes.
Oh, they're everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, it's life is not the same as it was, and probably never going to be like that again. It's very, very important, ongoing, that people listen to that voice inside and be available for pivoting in their lives quickly sometimes, but to let themselves be guided by the voice that's within them, not by any guru. Don't be guided by a politician or a guru. We've got to learn, all of us, to take that voice inside and let it be our guide.
And it's a very still, small voice. So you often question that voice because it is so quiet. It is so intricate. But typically it will come in a feeling in your gut where you say, will you do the, should I do that? Or something as simple as being in your car driving and you hear a voice say, don't turn here. And moments later, you hear about an accident that happened there. That's what we're wanting people to pay attention is to that still small voice and how to use it and how to know that it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just recently, even the scientific community is getting behind it. And, that it's been poo-pooed so much in our life. The idea that this is a woo-woo thought. We don't really have any intuition. Psychics are making it up when they talk to you, et cetera, et cetera. But now the scientific community is coming around. Mm-hmm. And they're saying, no, yes, it is real. We have an intuition. It's linked to our hearts. It's linked to our guts. It's physically part of who we are. And if we want to be all of who we can be and we want to awaken and become enlightened in our lives so that we can enjoy life more and help other people, then we have to take that voice on and allow it to be a large part of our life.
What are some of the ways that somebody can actually start to nurture that part of themselves? Like, what are some of the suggestions that you have? Because there are meditations, affirmation. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go ahead, Bonnie.
No, I was just going to say all of the above.
Yeah.
Everybody has some sort of. Everybody should have some type of spiritual practice, whether they meditate, call it meditation, they call it prayer, they call it grounding, they call it humming, they call it burning incense or saging, whatever works that's going to bring in that understanding of intuition is one of the things. We use mostly meditation and prayer. We do deep breathing exercises, and it's simply just to ask a question. And if you ask something specific during meditation or prayer, you will answer. You're usually told to sit and be still and be quiet. And you will hear the answer to any question that you're asking. But most of us don't sit still long enough to wait and hear the answer.
Yeah, and it is a quiet voice. So, I mean, in the beginning, it's like a whisper, right? It's it's different for everybody, but yeah. When you mentioned about the science community, Kaarin, I immediately started to think about the morphic resonance. Is it what's his name? Rupert. Oh, I can't remember. Sheldrake. I think his last name is Sheldrake. But he talks about the morphic resonance. And it was a study he did, like, with animals. Like, why do they all kind of go a certain way? Like, how do they communicate? Like, what is it?
Yeah.
It sounds like his work might actually tie in to this on some level, because he's used all he was the guy who started, like, the whole plant, like, listening to the plants, like, sing or make noise. Mm-hmm. Like, so he's been doing this a while. And so I wonder, like, that's probably part of the science, the academic science community that is actually looking into all this.
It's part of it, yes.
Yeah.
But even like Nobel laureates are now talking about intuition, and especially those in the medical community that are studying the gut and studying the heart. Those two in particular, although, they still haven't turned on to the pineal gland, which is so important. Mm-hmm. The pineal gland is right in the very center of our head, and it's in the very center of your brain for a reason, because it's the center, it's the seat of intuition. It's what guides intuition throughout your whole body. It's the point of communication between all the chakras and between all of the glands, everything that you want to think about in your body physiologically. The pineal gland has something to do with controlling how well it functions. Mm-hmm. And the pineal gland is so important. People can turn it on just by tapping the middle of your forehead. You know, the third eye is what it's been called in posterity, but the third eye right in the middle of your forehead between the two eyes and above the eyebrows, just tap it lightly for, 15, 20 seconds. Turn on the pineal gland. And once you turn on the pineal gland, then everything can start to work better. There are lots of little tips and tricks that we can turn people onto in our work that I just love. I mean, for instance, there is, if you meditate and you turn your eyes upward, usually people, their head is either straight forward or looking down a little bit. But if you push your eyes up so that you're like in your mind thinking you're looking at your pineal, the third eye up above your eyes there in your forehead, you're looking toward that spot, it will turn on anti-aging properties in your body. There's so many things about this people don't know about, and that's one of the things that Bonnie and I can do. We can help with all those little tips and tricks that make a big difference when they start to add up in your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a toolbox,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And I wanted to kind of jump in about what Caroline said about the animal. Have you ever noticed that before an earthquake, dogs get antsy, they bark, they move, because animals are born also with an innate sense of intuition, and they use theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Birds will fly away when certain things are going to happen. I mean, animals have that sense that we are all born with. However, it takes we as humans a whole lot longer to understand it, to use it, and to believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that happened.
Well, like Kaarin said a few minutes ago about people thinking, the woo-woo, that can't be, or people usually say, something told me not to do this. Something told me. What that something is your intuition, and you need to name it and give it, the due that is due, the just that is due, because it did save your life. I have so many instances where intuition saved my life, even when I didn't understand what it was. But I knew something.
Tell us, Bonnie. They're so exciting.
Well, when I was born, I always knew I had an intuitive spirit. That I, was able. I could read, which is another reason I went into psychology and counseling. I was the one that everyone came to at school. When they had problems, they told me all their problems, and because I knew mother and grandmother were also intuitive, with them home, and we would help. I grew older, my hands used to get hot like fire. I mean, my hands would get so hot. And my grandmother would tell me, she said, child, you have a gift, you have a gift of healing. Well, at 12 and 13, you're like, well, okay, grandma's a little wacko. But I wouldn't, of course, say that to her. But I'm thinking, okay, if that's what she says I've got, okay. But I was afraid of that gift. And that's a lot of responsibility. And one time, I think I was about 16 or 17, my grandmother was in the house, and we went up to see her. And there was a woman sitting in the waiting room crying. And my, 15, 16-year-old self walked over and sat in the waiting room with her. And I said, are you okay? And she said, my husband is not well, And instantly, my intuition I also call my intuition the spirit. The spirit spoke to me and said, tell her to take you into the room with her husband, lay your hands on his chest, and say, in the name of Jesus, you are healed. Well, I started looking around the waiting room because that voice spoke to me as if someone was sitting right next to me. And it scared me, and my hands began to grow hot like fire. And I didn't do it. All I said was, well, I hope he gets better. Instantly, my hands got cold, and my hands to this got. And so to me, there's a point in your life with the intuition where you're given gift at birth. I think everyone's given a gift of something that they're supposed to do. And because I was disobedient with that gift, because it was clear that I had been told that I had that gift, I knew there had to be some reason why my hands would get hot like that. But at that age, I was not willing to absorb that responsibility. So the gift was taken away.
You were also young, you were also very
Yes,
young. Yeah.
exactly. And, that age, you're not thinking, oh, well, okay, you say so. But, and so I do know that I have healing in a different way now. It's not necessarily with my hands, but it's with my mouth.
Yeah.
I'm able to talk to people and show them the way to their own healing. That's the gift that I have now.
It's a beautiful story. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. And Kaarin, what was one of the telltale signs for you?
Kaarin's extraordinary. You don't know her story.
Right.
Yeah.
She acts like she wrote one book. She must have wrote 40.
Right. She is.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's so sure. That's for sure, Madeline. Yes.
If I lose something, I'll text Kaarin. Hey, where do you think that?
That's right.
She tells me where it is.
Yep.
Yeah. My story is a little different than Bonnie's, but it's the same in that it's all about the intuition. For me, luckily, I grew up in an Italian household, an old world Italian household, in a town in California where the church still spoke Latin when I was growing up, and Catholic church, of course, Italians. And in an old world Italian family, the spirits with you, your ancestors live with you. They're not gone. And I can remember how many times in my life my grandma would suddenly say, we're all watching TV, and my grandma would say, Jay, Nona is standing right behind you. She's got something to say to you. You better listen. And so this is the kind of home that I grew up in, where intuition and spirits and what many people would call ghosts and that sort of paranormal, what is now called paranormal, was second place to me. And so I got, half of me got feeling that, oh, this is okay. This is all right. Of course, the outside world didn't feel that way. I remember I got sent to the principal's office once in fourth grade because the teacher came in and she was very angry and she was barking at everybody. And I remember I stood up and said, just because you had just because you had it with your boyfriend before you got here doesn't mean you have to take it out on us. And she didn't like that, of course. I used my intuition a lot when I was a child. Now, that the problem came when I was 7. I was kidnapped by a pedophile, and luckily he let me go later in the day. He didn't hold me overnight. He let me go, which is, kind of rare. From my understanding, most children don't have that. They don't let go. And from that point on, things changed for me, and I spent many years feeling very bad about myself and not looking into my intuition until I was later in my teenage years, and I started studying the arts, palmistry, and astrology, and anything I could pretty much get my hands on. Even though I was in this little bitty town in California, there was a public library. You could get some things. You couldn't get a lot. But from that time forward, I have just really pretty much spent my life being but listening and allowing of the intuitive part of myself. It hasn't always kept me out of trouble because I do that part of me says. And that's the problem. That's what Bonnie was talking about. If you don't listen to it, things can happen. But, I have a very clear sense of that part of self. So I'm so appreciative of Bonnie in my life, because being sacred sister, as I call her, we are of like minds, and it's just such a joy being partners with somebody that you can really understand, and who can really understand you.
Yeah, what a gift.
Yeah.
Best friend, right? To meet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
sit
think
down
so.
at the table. Yeah, definitely.
She called me over, and that was it. Oh.
Yeah, it's actually beautiful. It's amazing how people come together, isn't it? Like these, it's, what would you call it? A conspiracy of events, you know?
Yeah.
Conspiracy or synchronicity?
I was going to say.
I would say conspiracy of events.
Oh, okay.
You know, in a more positive way, you know, like if we use that word, then we can maybe take the other stuff out of it, you know. But I think it's a beautiful meeting that you've had, and also like your background. Now I want to, I like this bigger groups online, like a virtual. Have you done anything? Or are you putting together something right now?
We are. In fact, we're asking people please to go to the Opportunity Coaches, theopportunitycoaches.com, and sign up for our newsletter. We're just getting started with some new stuff. We're going to have a subscription service eventually where people will be able to take classes and webinars, and I think it's just going to be so much joy and so much happiness around all of the things that we're going to be doing. Neither Bonnie nor myself, we're tired. Well, can I say we're tired? A lot of people just whine, and they don't really want to get well.
That's right.
They don't. Yeah. So we're tired of that. We are inviting everyone who really wants to stop blaming anybody else or anything else for their problems, take responsibility for who they are, and want to grow. And if that's you out there listening to us, then come on in. We've got a lot for you.
There's a couple of ladies listening right now who are in relationships that they knew they were not supposed to be in. The voice clearly spoke to you and said, you should not do this. And you did it anyway. And now you wondering why you have such hell in your life with this man who you thought you loved. You should have listened to your intuition. It spoke loud and clear.
I think I did that.
Oh, yeah. I think I did that as well.
Yeah.
And when I went to Maryland the first time and they were closed, I should have taken that as a very clear indication that I shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I've done it. I did it. I knew I shouldn't have done it.
Yep.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
We've got to learn to start listening.
Yeah, trust it. Yeah.
And trust that what you're hearing is your innate spiritual partner that lives inside of you telling, I know what's ahead. You better not do this.
Yeah.
But we don't always, we don't do that.
Yeah. And that's why, it's good to have, attracting other people in your life, like the way that you and Bonnie and Kaarin have come together on some level where you are able to communicate in a level of understanding. A lot of people don't get that, a lot of people, and maybe the platform that you're putting together here is going to start to attract the right people who can connect with each other.
I know it will. Yeah. Carolyn. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, I have that feeling that it will.
Excellent. Oh, I love to hear that, huh, Bonnie?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you do. You will. It'll attract the right ones, because of the intent you have. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see where you're going to go with it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, sign up for our newsletter, and
I
we'll
will.
let you know.
Mhm.
Yes.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
I
you.
will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, we're very excited. We're just, this touches. It touches, this work touches our hearts, touches our soul. It's what we're supposed to be doing. It's what we came here for.
Mhm.
So, can't stop it.
No. No. And the
Wish there-
times that we are in, like
Mhm.
these are like yeah, everybody has to like kind of we all have to start standing up here.
Yeah.
Yes.
And coming together like never before.
Yeah. Thank gosh.
Mhm.
Definitely. Definitely. We have to
Yeah.
get on, as I would say when I was younger, we have to get on the good foot. James Brown used
There
to
you
say.
go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get on the good
Yeah.
foot.
And when you
Love
see
it.
that red flag, pay attention.
Oh
you
my
know?
goodness. Yes.
Pay attention.
Please do that.
Yes.
Yeah. I've even, I've seen the red flag and I have convinced myself that wasn't a red flag.
She
Yes,
grabbed the red
absolutely.
flag and was
Joey.
waving it like I did.
Yeah.
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 But
Flashing
Oh,
lights and everything. And I'm like,
that's
oh, no,
right.
no.
Everything but physically grabbing a hold to you. I mean, it's like, what else can they do to get your attention?
Right?
yeah.
Except for let you go on and make that choice and then watch you fall, but be there to catch when you fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dust you off.
But
Yeah.
sometimes it hurts when you fall. And
It
then you have
does.
to get up and, tend to your wounds. And then, bandage yourself up and say, oh, okay. That was you talking, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't listen. All right. Let me do it again. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a surrender that's necessary in it. You have to surrender that so that your ego, I mean, we all have egos. Of course we do. We're people. We're supposed to have them, but we allow them to get too big and they overshadow the other portions of our life, the other parts of who we are. So we have to surrender to the quieter part of ourselves, to the part that is harder to listen to if you don't get quiet around it. That's the part we need to surrender to. And if we are looking to our lives to be helped by an avatar, Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, any being outside of our physical that we may be asking to help us, every single one of those beings will tell you, well, open up and get quiet. None of them, they all say that. So it's to get on board.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
I know as Madeline knows, I talk to Yeshua every day. And in case you don't know, Yeshua is Jesus. That Yeshua is Aramaic name as he was called in his lifetime. And Jesus is a Greek bastardization of that name. So I call him Yeshua. And I listen to him every day. And there's no reason why everybody can't. If you are looking to Jesus to help you, well then open up and let him help you. If you're looking to Buddha to help you, open up and let him help you. This world, we are all connected. We are connected with each other. We are connected with the animals. We are connected with everything that lives and grows, even down to the microbes that inhabit the soil. We are all connected. And it doesn't stop here. We're connected to all of existence, where people who have died have gone, people who have ascended gone. All of these planes of existence are ones that we have access to if we allow ourselves to have that access. but it begins with the intuition. You've got to listen to that voice inside, or it can't fruit for you.
Yeah, exactly. And there's so many different ways that using your intuition can help you. I mean, you're talking about just decision making, whether I should take this job or not. Just problem solving. If you're doing something creative, should or should I not do that? It helps to enhance your perception, your personal life, your fulfillment, different things like that. And even your professional, your job, your professional success. I want to do this. Should I do this? I want to, in the case of my book, The Dreams of Maddie Fitch, I'll give you another quick little story. That little girl bothered me in my dreams for almost a year. He would wake me up at 3 a.m. and said, "Hey, I want you to write about me." And I'm thinking, and at this point in my life, I suffer from a chronic illness, which is another thing that brings me to the satisfaction of using my intuition even more, having this chronic illness, because it's brought reality to my life. Sometimes you are given illnesses because of the choices that you made. Mm-hmm. And this illness I have was stress-induced, believe it or not, because I made a choice to marry someone I married. So all that said, back to Maddie. So during a time in my life, Kaarin is very well aware of this, of course, Maddie would come to me and wake me up at 3 a.m. for finally I said, who are you and what do you want? She said, "I told you, I need you to write about me." Which is how I ended up meeting Kaarin and how we're where we are today. Wow. Maddie was a little African-American girl, about 12 years old. She lived in the small town of Darlington, South Carolina, where my mother grew up. And she drowned. And while in I don't want to say in a coma, she was in a spiritual, is what she called it. She had dreams, but in the dreams, they were so real. She actually went to different places. She is able to bring herself to you in whatever form you need. If you need a grandmother, she came in a grandmother's body. If you needed a young teacher, in my book, Maddie, it's always a spiritual connotation. She helps 3 people do 3 different things. In Maddie Fitch, my first version, because my second volume is coming out, she helped a young man. She came as herself. She came as her 12-year-old beautiful self. Helped a young boy who needed to pass an exam so he could get his basketball scholarship from high school. She came as herself. The second young lady she came was a Hispanic. One was a Caucasian boy who grew up in the hood of Oakland. This is written in Oakland. And the young lady, Hispanic, wanted to be a dancer. So she came as a dance teacher, about 30 years old. And then the last young man who was getting himself into gangs, she came as a grandmother. She helped all 3 children heal their lives because they all had different things that they had gone through. But that shows you how badly she wanted her story told, that she would do that to me for 6 months at 3 o'clock every morning until I got my behind down to Los Angeles, where I was blessed to meet Kaarin, where I was blessed to publish my book. And the world is open to me now. I wish I had somebody like me and Kaarin back when I was in my 20s. I would not have made half of the mistakes that I made in my life.
Right.
Then. So.
Wow. But weren't those mistakes part of our journey?
Absolutely.
Well, they are now, aren't they? They are now.
The end. Yeah.
But did they have to be? No, I don't think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
I didn't think so either, but somebody pulled a cruel trick on us.
Yeah.
Right?
It's so easy to go the wrong direction if you're not paying attention.
Mhm.
And Yeshua is really big on attention. He says, if you don't pay, you can only change what you're aware of.
Mhm.
And
Right.
you can only pay attention. So he's big on attention.
Because I had no intention of writing a book.
Right.
I wasn't an author. I have no idea what I was doing. So when you say part of your journey, no, I don't think that was what having that young child come to me in my dreams. And the dreams were so vivid. It was almost like she was there.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So I think part of our journeys would be more, okay, we get older every year. That's your birthday. That's part of your journey.
I meant like our journey where we made this mistake on the men that we married.
Oh, that part, yes. Yes,
the
you're
journey.
absolutely right, Madeline. Absolutely.
But it didn't have to be.
Right.
It's a part of your journey now because that's the road you took. But you didn't have to take that road.
Yeah, we
That's
had a
the
choice.
point.
That's
Right.
the choice you made. And back then, when I made that choice, it was ego that had me do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have always been a very nice looking woman. I was very, very good looking back in my younger days. And the guy, there was several women after him, and I was not going to be the loser.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then I had mom intuition at that point speak to me and say, Bonnie, you are making the wrong choice. Because I wasn't listening to my intuition, that my intuition went not only to her, but my godmother.
Mm.
See, I believe he uses other people too to come to you and say, hey, you're not listening, so I'm going to go to this person that you're close to.
Mhm.
Like you lose something, Madeline, you call Kaarin, right? Because you know that Kaarin has that voice that she listens to that tells her things. So I wasn't listening. I made that decision, yes, and I ended up from A to D, to G.
Yeah.
Faster than I should have. I should have went A, B, C, D. I went from A to D. So, but look where I am now. I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
So, Carolyn, I'm curious. Do you listen to your intuition?
I do.
Good.
But there have been times when I haven't.
Like all of us, yes.
Yeah. Yep. And there's also been, like, I can also say that there was a time when I actually knew I was going the wrong way, but I was doing it anyway. And I kept saying, I'm doing it. Watch me, I am doing it. I don't care if you're saying it's the wrong way. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Done things like that. Mm-hmm.
What was the gift that you received after that?
Oh, my life went to tumbling, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Disintegrated before my eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Bonnie was saying about how, the intuition can knock on the head of somebody close to you, try and tell you. I remember the day I got married to the first man I married, excuse me, I went to her and I asked her if I could borrow her necklace. And she pulled out her necklace, this very good friend of mine, and she looked at me and she handed it over and she said, only if you're not going to marry somebody.
Wow.
And, that was, I should have listened.
Right.
Yeah. Just like you, Caroline. You didn't do it no matter what anybody says.
Yeah. Yeah, I had made up my mind. I was making that mistake. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, now me, I made the mistake of getting divorced too. I got divorced 2 months shy of 10 years.
Yeah.
So why was that a mistake?
Because I could have been Social Security.
Oh!
See, I never made that mistake, Madeline.
I just said I was done with it.
Right. You should have waited for that 9th year and an hour before the 10th year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An hour after the 10th year. Yeah.
What a fool.
Well, you didn't know.
No.
You were doing what was right for you at the time, and
Yeah.
Yeah. But you had young children to take care of too, didn't you?
I did.
Wasn't that a part of it? Yeah. I've never had children, but Bonnie, you have, and everyone I know that has had children and has been a single mother, it's very, very hard.
Yeah.
That is not simple.
No, sirree, Bobby.
Say that again.
My son just had a birthday yesterday.
Oh.
My oldest son.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, it wasn't an easy task.
No. Especially like for me when you're 20 years old.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It's like, what in the world were you thinking?
I was 18.
Wow. Baby.
Well, the best part was when I got out of high school, my girlfriend and I were going to enlist, and it was the height of the Vietnam War.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. And, as I was only maybe 20 pounds overweight. She wasn't. And they didn't want me because I was overweight. And it's like, well, what the hell were we thinking? Well, I was thinking, all those men. I was thinking, all those men on a vacation for 30 days, any place you want to go. Yeah, I'm in. Sign me up. But they said, no, we can't sign you up. So
yeah. Oh, man.
I doubt if I would have made it through boot camp.
Oh, goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, no.
But at
I don't
least
think
you
that
can
would
be
have been
honest
the right
about
life
it.
for you.
Right.
But then I tried to get in it again after I got divorced. I was still overweight.
Oh, well.
So sometimes your fat saves you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yourself. Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Exactly. But that's the whole idea about our intuition, is that we can make fun of it and it can make fun of us. So just the decisions,
Yes.
Yeah.
I can see whoever's sitting wherever they're sitting and they're smacking themselves in the head. Now what the hell is she doing?
Right. Yes. Yes. It's like my mom was like, "Oh, I never wanted to told you so, but I told you so." I could see that a mile away, but when you're young and in love, you're thinking, she doesn't know what she's talking about, or they don't know what they're talking about.
Right. As if having lived all those many years more than you meant nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like when you're young, you don't want to listen.
But it's even worse when you do it again at 40 and you said you didn't learn from the first one. It's
man, yeah.
Oh, you're going to do that again, are you? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was,
Yeah, I did it at 50. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, holding my son's hand, getting ready. He's going to walk me down the aisle. And it was like, I turned to my son. I said, I don't want to do this.
Mm.
And he said, Mom,
that's not the
you see all
time.
those people out there? I was
and
like,
she turned into the runaway bride.
Right. I said, I don't want to do it. And he was like, oh, my God. He was like, Mom, oh, no, what are we going to do? I just went, oh, no, I got to go through with it. But I knew better. I said, I just got to go do it. And that lasted about 15 minutes. It was it.
Man.
I was like, oh, my goodness, what are you thinking? You know better. That's the thing. When you know better, I don't think my intuition could have spoken to me any louder. It could have just slapped me in the face, and it did. Why are you doing this? No?
Yeah.
Why are you taking this job? Why aren't you moving? Just so many different things. Why aren't you moving there?
Yeah.
You need to move there.
Yeah.
Don't go down that street. There's danger down there. Don't use those drugs. Don't drink that. Don't drink that. Be careful.
The favorite one of mine is slow down, like when I'd be driving on country roads.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just slow down. Sure enough, there's a deer. And then another one, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had that experience too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different things that people could share that you stop and you think, you like, wow, that was an intuitive moment. That was, I did feel something in my gut. I did get a pound in my head real quick. You know, I did feel nauseous. I mean, it will come to you any way to get your attention. You might be getting ready to walk off of something, come out of a building, you get sick to your stomach and feel like you're throwing up, so you run to the bathroom, and then something happens right out front of the building.
Right.
Well, how many times have we heard the stories of people who were booked on a flight and changed their minds, you know, and get a flight, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go to New York on 9/11.
Ooh.
Wow.
No good.
And my plan was to go down to Wall Street.
Oh, there's the music.
We'll be right back.
You're listening to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message. Thank you for listening to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. Any commercial advertising you may hear in this program is of the sole discretion and benefit of the host of whose program you are listening to. Revolution Radio does not endorse any commercial products, nor does it accept monetary compensation for on-air advertising of commercial products, nor will it ever. We are and shall remain 100% listener supported. Any product in this program are considered used, and Revolution Radio shall not be held liable for any claims or damages received from any product advertised within this program. Revolution Radio, where information never sleeps. All right, thanks for listening while we take that short break here at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. And now we're going to get back to your host.
We're back, and you've been listening to Life in the Hologram on Revolution Radio. And just to let you know, we're listener supported. So open up your wallet and get out as much as you're going to spend on some coffee or more, and send a donation here. You can find the donation box on the radio website, because we have lots of great shows.
Yeah, we do. And the archives are free. So if you enjoy what you're hearing, or like, there's so many different shows, Studio A, Studio B, The Hawk's Nest, there's something 24/7. So there's something to listen to.
And February 2nd, we're moving to Friday night at 7 p.m. And then Caroline's going to have her show following Life in the Hologram.
Yeah, I'm going to do my show, and that also begins February the 2nd, and I'll be doing 9 p.m. till 10 p.m. Eastern. It's a 1-hour show. I'm probably going to do it solo. And yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you, Madeline. So next week, the 31st, is the Wednesday. So will we have 2 shows next week?
No, we're just going to go to
straight
Friday.
to the 2nd? Okay.
Yes.
All right. I had forgot to clear that with you. So yeah, that's exciting. Friday. Yeah. We're going to be moving to Friday, and it's quite the lineup. Has got her hyperspace dark clothes, I think 5 to 7, and then it's Life in the Hologram, 7 till 9, and then Navigating the Truth, 9 till 10. So yeah, quite the lineup.
There you go.
Yeah.
And Bonnie and Kaarin, give your website name again and all the things that you have to offer, so our listeners know how to get in touch with you girls.
Go ahead, Bonnie.
Okay, we're at theopportunitycoaches.com. Click on that link, subscribe to our newsletter, and we'll be happy to help you open up the world of possibility.
And what about your books? How can we get your books?
Oh, both of our books are available on Amazon right now, but I will say both of our books are going to be printed with a new edition later, probably later this year. So if you want it in its current edition, which would be lovely, go ahead and get it now. The Dreams of Maddie Fitch is Bonnie's wonderful book, and The Journey of a Prophet, Jesus Tells His Story, is my book.
Fantastic.
One of her books.
Thank you, Madeline.
Yes.
It's
because you're working on a couple of them now, aren't you?
I am.
Yes, we both are.
Bonnie and I are both co-writing several books right now. Bonnie's just written a book called Intuition, just, boom, Intuition. And it's going to be out very, very shortly. We'll probably be offering it as part of a free gift for coming into our subscription service that we're going to be offering to people. So that one pretty easily. And we got other books going on too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the law.
And then what would the subscription service, what would the cost be on that?
Well, we don't know quite yet, Madeline. We are just in the throes of figure, right? So we're still trying to figure that out. Who gets onto our newsletter list will be apprised of everything as it's coming out. We just started. Just started. So we both had all of these years of doing this alone, and now we're doing it together. So we got twice as much to offer people, which I think is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, it is.
Yeah.
It's
so
fantastic.
get on our newsletter. Get on our newsletter. That's the most important thing. Get on that, and you will have all of the information you need when it comes up. And of course, probably have specials. You come in as one of the first people in our intuition group. The newsletter itself is called Intuitive Living, and that's what we're going to help people learn how to be intuitive and live with your intuition guiding you. So if you get on that newsletter list, do that right now, and you'll be privy to everything that we do as we do it. And probably, since you'll be one of our first signups, we'll give you a deal. Don't you think, Madeline?
Sounds like a good thing to me. We all want a deal. We're all looking for a deal.
I think, Bonnie, you agree with me, right?
Absolutely. Who doesn't want a deal?
Deal or no deal.
Yeah.
That's right. We live for those deals.
Absolutely.
It's also really exciting, because you're building it together. And as you say, the more people that come in now, a subscription, they're going to be right there, as you're pulling it all together, which is, it's kind of cool,
Yeah.
I think it's exciting.
People always say, I wish I'd gotten in on the ground floor, right? Well, it's ground floor time. Come on in.
Yeah. where I've got a taste of both of them. And that's the thing, is to be able to be direct with the two of us as we build this beautiful community of believers, intuitors, as we call them.
Yes, that's right.
Our intuitive pioneers, the intuitors.
I like that.
Yeah, we're going to have T-shirts and everything. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And it's going to be fun.
It's exciting.
It's just about fun, and it's not about anything other than trying to transform, the world, one life at a time. And if we can make a difference in somebody's life, you just never know who is out there needing them. And just needing somebody to say, if you ask, well, what do you think? Even a simple question like, well, what do you think I should do? Well, my question would be, well, what do you think you should do? How are you feeling about that? Yeah. What is your body telling you? When you close your eyes, take that deep breath and say, is this what I should do? Then you pause and you listen. And sometimes you don't get the answer right then. It may come in the form of a dream. in the form of someone may say something to you about it. It just comes in different ways, and it's so wonderful to be able to know how it comes, the different ways it can come.
I used to sit in a meditation, and if I had a question, introduce the question during my meditation. And I used to have this thing where I would say to myself, if I feel anything on my left side of my body, it's a no. If I feel anything on the right side of my body, it's a yes. I mean, I would be really aware of my body, and a wee twinge or something, I'd be like, okay, that's a no. Okay, that's a yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I haven't done that in a long time. I forgot I used to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I met a girl that used the pendulum for everything. I mean, she'd be at the grocery store, I'd get the pendulum out, and am I supposed to go home? Okay.
Well,
if it works for her,
it works. Exactly. If it works, there are so many divination tools available. There's cards and dowsing rings and pendulums and, runes. You could go on and on with the number of divination of things that are out there, but they all come down to you. The power is not in the cards. The power is not in the dowsing ring. Power is in you. And what you're doing is you're allowing yourself to bypass the left side of your brain, which is always looking for, is it truth? Is it truth? Yes, no, yes, no. It allows you, the divination tool allows you to bypass that part of your brain that's always on guard and lets that stiller voice take charge. That's why divination tools work. Not because they have any power. You could use chicken guts if you wanted to, and some people do. Really, I mean, it doesn't matter. Like you, Carolyn, used the right side of your body and the left side of your body. That's just as valid as a set of cards, or just as valid as just opening up your mind and not using any divination tool. The thing is, if it helps you, go for it.
Yeah.
Well, the way I got into sending out my different cards is I was sitting here one day and I hear, get those angel cards. I'm like, no, whoa. And I ignored it. A couple of days later, I hear, get those angel cards. And I'm like, what crap is this? Third day, I hear, get those angel cards. I said, I haven't looked at those angel cards in 12 years. All right, I'll get them. So I got them and I bring them back. I said, okay, I got them. Now what? Just start sending them out to people. Don't give them any explanation, and they have to fit out for themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I've been doing this for 3 years now.
Wow. How many of you sent out? Sorry.
Lucky. I've been a lucky recipient of those cards, and they are so powerful, Madeline.
I'm waiting on mine.
There you go.
I know a lot of people say that, and I get amazed.
Yeah. Wow. Anytime spirit will speak to me through others or, through myself.
Yep.
Yeah, they'll say, oh, that card was spot on for me today. Really?
Yep. That happens to me all the time with your cards, Madeline. They're very powerful.
Yeah, they are.
It amazes me.
How many have you sent so far, Madeline?
How many cards?
Yeah.
I send a group, I don't know, maybe it's 20 every day.
Wow.
And then I was sending them on Facebook, too, every day. But then sometimes they stop me after I send a certain amount. Maybe I had 25 or 30 people on Facebook Messenger. And then they would stop me.
Huh, why?
So then it got too frustrating. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Which I knew why.
Yeah.
Because they're persnickety like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, social media is a wonderful medium if you don't take it too seriously, if you don't try and give it too much power, like you're on social media all day long, then you miss the rest of your life. But otherwise, that some of my nieces and nephews, I wouldn't know what was going on in their life if it wasn't for social media.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some put their whole photo album on the.
That's frightening, actually.
I know.
Frightens me.
I know.
Yeah.
I keep saying, don't do it.
No.
Do they listen? No.
And all those people now who are having trouble getting a job because all of the pictures they posted of themselves and, on the beach in Cancun, those are all getting in the way of getting a job now.
Oh, my.
Yeah, or even if you liked something that was not was considered,
Oof. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I noticed? And I noticed it today when I was actually on Facebook, that if you interact with a group, like this might have been going on and I just never noticed it, but you get points.
Yeah.
And
Which?
if you interact, like following some groups, like I follow some of the groups that take like scenic pictures of Scotland and stuff. And if I communicate, like if I say, oh, beautiful picture or something, I get points. And there's a point system on Facebook that I never realized until today. I have 2 points.
Really?
Is that good or bad? Do you know?
Well, I'm thinking,
what can you get for your 2 points?
Well,
Right.
no, I think it might be more sinister than that, I think that's more like the point system that they have been talking about is actually in circulation in China. It's
yeah.
So I'm thinking, it's not such a good thing. But I don't know. I don't know. Like points, it's like your credit rating, it's Yeah.
Oh man, I don't even want to know how many points I have.
Yeah.
Oof.
Well, I came across it by mistake. I stumbled on it today. Like I had never seen it before. I had.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I on Facebook if I'm liking, say somebody who's doing a success thing or doing something similar to what I'm doing, then you become a fan favorite, or you get a badge.
Right, or a top contributor. Yeah,
you're a badge. You can get you a badge, and I got a badge the other day from Russell Branson's group, ClickFunnels.
Wow.
And he actually liked it. That I said that I was so happy to be there or something I said, and he actually liked what I said.
Awesome.
The actual, billionaire of ClickFunnels. I was like, whoa, okay.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Elon Musk is my friend on X, right? Okay.
Yeah, right. His management team is on here. He's your friend on here.
Right.
Right. Yeah, because your intuition told you that it was not Elon Musk. That's right.
Well, they have these like at-home jobs where you're supposed to be able to they pay you so much for each like that you do on social media.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm worried about those.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
Well, you can see it on some of the pages. Like, some of the pages will just have likes only. There's no, like, care or love or angry or happy or, like, the smiley faces. It's just the thumbs up. It's the like. So, like, I think that's one of the ways, especially when I see, like, some of the municipal pages that will come up on my feed, like, physical councils and things. It's all they'll have, like, it's almost like they have these preset likes but I don't think it's actual people that is liking it. I think it's generated by an algorithm or something.
Oh my.
Yeah, well, but I'm highly suspicious in nature, so
it's strange how they work because you think you have 3,000 friends and 10 people comment on your posts, so something's not right.
Like they're bots or something. Bots.
Who the heck knows?
Yeah.
It's
harder and harder to trust what we see.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Again, another reason why you got to listen to your intuition.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's not going to steer you wrong, that's for sure.
No.
That's right.
Yeah. I said,
it's us who steer us wrong.
We were going to this function outside, and my granddaughter, she didn't have a coat on, and she didn't have really that warm of clothing on the kids either. And I said, do you really think it's, that going to be that warm up there in that mountain? Yeah, and I'm thinking, I should be taking my jacket.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did I take my jacket?
Yeah.
No.
Did you know? Oh, no.
And it's like, Madeline, why don't you just pay attention to yourself?
Exactly. Something that helps people that Bonnie and I have both used in the past is a intuition journal. Like, say you think you might hear your voice say, go and eat lunch here today instead of someplace that you usually eat lunch, if you work outside the home. And so you go to a different place to eat lunch and then come back later evening in your journal, write down what happened. And as you start writing these instances when you listen or you don't listen, and what happened because you did or didn't listen, you'll start to gain an historical perspective on that voice and what that voice can do. An intuition journal, it goes really well also with a gratitude journal. Anyone out there who keeps a gratitude journal, you can keep both. They can be right in the same book. Don't have to have two different ones.
That's like, I'll say, should I buy some scratch-offs today? And I hear no. I'm like, what do you mean no?
I want to win.
Right.
Yeah.
It's such a big world. There's so much in this world.
There is.
There's such a small perspective that most people have on the world. And when you start listening to your intuition, when you start giving yourself permission to see more and feel more, the world will open up for you. Like sometimes my clients will say, life. And I'm like, well, why not? And they're like, I don't know. I don't do anything. I just sit around. Well, no wonder you don't have a life. You don't do anything. You just sit around. Listen to your intuition, to what it's saying for you to do. And every time you listen to it, every time you move out there, the world gets a little bigger for you. Your world opens up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's strange, though, because even if they think they don't have a life, there's always something to do.
Well, yeah.
I could find a million things to do that I do, like computer things or just straightening up your space is something to do.
Yeah.
It's surprising how many people don't do anything. Don't do anything except maybe go to work or get their children ready for school. Their life is haven't given themselves permission. I'm sorry, Bonnie, what did you just say?
I was just saying they wonder why nothing happens. They don't do anything and they wonder why nothing happens.
Right.
Here I have my two little great grandkids, right? And they sit and watch these people on TV. Like these families doing different things, playing games, Just look up those people's names on the internet and see how much that family makes. So Emmett looks it up, and $3.7 million a year. I said, and you're sitting here watching this. Why don't you start doing instead of watching it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What did he say when you said that to him?
Well, they look at me like I'm crazy. It's like, I have a little camera here. I can film you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Stop watching them.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Get in the program.
Yeah.
There's a little thing I learned from Spirit long time ago. It's called your day is your 7 parts. And the 7 parts are your world, your, oh gosh, do I even remember? Oh, maybe I shouldn't have brought it up. I can't remember them.
Okay. That's okay.
But anyway, you have these 7 parts, and pay attention to all 7 parts every day. It'll open up to you and will be everything that you want it to be. But when you start ignoring those 7 parts, your world collapses in on itself. It's a wonderful way of thinking about life. And often I've had my clients, they're like, I don't know, I don't hear from any of my friends. I said, well, do your friends hear from you? Mm-hmm. And they'll just be silent for a moment. I said, well, do they? No. Okay, so get out a pen, get out a card, write a card off to one of your friends and see what happens. We get used to the world coming to us. We forget that we can go to the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just get on your phone. It'll take you anywhere you want to go.
Oh, my goodness.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For anybody to be, there's a good reason, I should say, for anyone to be insecure, for anyone to be unhappy, for anyone to not be living the life that they want to live. There's no good reason for that. Yeah. There's going to be reasons, but they're not good reasons.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Mm. Yeah, we believe that.
She believes.
Yeah.
Now, all we got to remember is the 7 things we're supposed to do every day.
Yeah. Well, you're supposed to pay attention. You're supposed to pay attention to your world, to your business, to your environment. And there's one other thing, and then to yourself. And there's 3 parts of yourself, which is your mind, your spirit, and your body. And those 7 things, you pay attention to them every single day, and they will grow. You don't pay attention to them, and they'll fall in on themselves.
Well, don't you think you should be teaching this, too, to kids?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Bonnie works with kids right now.
Yes, every day.
And what do you see working with the children, the modern children?
I can't even begin to express the trauma that we're going through with these children now. We call them the COVID kids, and this generation of, because I work with middle school students, 12, 13, 14, and the pain and anguish that these kids go through, and the amount of disrespect, and it just, in my 25 years of being in this field, I've really never quite seen anything like it.
Mm-mm. I see it in the kids.
Yes.
It's like, what is wrong with these kids?
They are not being raised.
Mm-mm.
They're raising
it's
themselves.
like if it was us, your mother would have slept you into next week.
Hello.
Yeah.
A couple of things happened along the way from the time we were children until now. You had social service get involved, and the kids can call CPS and say, my mom hit me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the parents can be arrested and all sorts of other things. So the parents took their hands off of the children and tried to become their friend. And that happens when I have to have counseling sessions with parents and children. Is to watch the interaction between the parent and the child. It's almost opposite. It's like the child is running the household.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so and so I have to stop the child in the midst when the parent is trying to, and the child is telling the parent to shut up.
Oh.
The level of disrespect is beyond anything that I've ever seen.
My goodness.
And I'll ask the parent, what is going on? What is happening here? You've got to know that deep knowing, which goes back to intuition. You've got to know that the way that this is happening is not right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I know it is, but what can I do is always the question that I get from parents whose children are systematically in trouble, getting kicked out of class, failing their classes. And a lot of the kids don't care because, well, you have to pass me on to the next grade anyway, because you can't retain kids anymore. So, and they know that. So, but some kids, but thank goodness we do have, that would be probably about 20% of our student population, which is high.
Yeah.
But the other 80% are thriving, doing well, and
nice.
taking education seriously.
Good.
So,
that's good.
Yeah. It's painful because I use a lot of my techniques, my intuition training on the students that I work with that are in crisis, depression, anxiety. There's a lot since COVID, since they came back to school from COVID. A lot of depression and anxiety. So, we work closely with that. And I use a lot of aromatherapy, breathing techniques, and things like that with the students at my school. So,
they're
That's
lucky
good.
to have you. Yeah, they're lucky to have you, Bonnie.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yep.
I do the best I can, but because
it's a whole different ball game, isn't it?
Yes.
Towards, I mean, even 10 years ago, it's a whole different ball game.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like, where did we go
scary
wrong?
Time, but intuitively, I feel that, for those who are willing to listen, we fine.
Well, I'm heartened by you saying 80% are fine.
Yeah.
That's heartening to me. I would have thought that it was a higher percentage wasn't. 80%
Well, that's at my
doing fine.
that's at my
great.
school. That's at my school. The other schools are having, it's not that high.
That's too
bad. But I think that's because of the awareness that we have.
Yeah.
We have a good counseling system at the school. The kids have the opportunities to have these things. I am the counselor who, when I pull my F report and I see students failing, I pull those students in immediately. I pull those parents in. Let's work together to make sure that this student is successful. That's my job. And it's also my job as an opportunity coach to make sure that our clients in our community are successful. There's adults out there that are just, in the same situation as these kids.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And they need guidance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what the opportunity coaches have to offer is guidance,
Yeah.
love, family, a community of believers, a community that we call our family. And we want people to subscribe and come in and join the part of our family, join our workshops. We're working on a book right now, The Law of Intuition. Because there's a law of attraction. There's a law of intuition.
Well, I guess somebody learned the law of attraction, but they're not attracting what they really want.
Right.
Well, you've got to
know what you
become
want.
Clear. You've got to know
what you want.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you don't have clarity, the universe, for lack of a better term, can't bring you what you want unless you're clear. Yeah. And you know what? So many people, they say, "Oh, I know what I want," but then tomorrow they second guess themselves and they act against themselves, against these desires, and it's not necessary. It doesn't have to be that way. Let us help you.
Yes, and when it doesn't happen fast enough, they get discouraged.
Yeah.
Well, the universe has its own time.
Yes, it does.
It's not our time. It's
That's right.
Time.
Yes, Madeline.
It's like island time.
Time is, oh my goodness. I looked at myself the other day and I said, "Girl, you are almost 70 years old. You're almost 70 years old." And I'm thinking to myself, I still feel like I'm 40. What the heck? Where'd that time go? And anyone who's looking in the mirror and says, I haven't gotten what I want yet, and I'm 50 years old or 60 years old or 40 years old, whatever, it's not too late.
No, it's never too late.
Not too late.
Yeah.
I like that.
Close to, and you're not that close to 70. You got a little way to go. You make it sound like it's tomorrow.
Well, I'm saying I'm close. I'm close. Thank you, sweetheart.
Right. You're welcome.
Just making a point. Yeah. Making a point there.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm just teasing.
I need that teasing. You know that.
Yes.
Keep me from getting serious. I do get serious sometimes.
Yes, you will. But that's okay. That's okay.
Thank you.
You need that sometimes. Yeah.
You feel 40. It's like I still think I'm 18. It's like, what happened?
Yeah. Where did it go? What happened?
What happened here?
Well, 60 is the new 40, and 40 is the new 20. That's what they say anyway.
Yeah. Which means the new 20 is 5.
Right.
I could believe that.
And I believe it because that's how they act.
Yeah.
Some of them can't find their way out of a paper bag.
Exactly. Yeah. But they need help finding the way out of that bag. Yep.
I can't. I mean, the things I did when I'm baffled. I'm baffled.
I know. When I was 20, I had my first kid, so I'm like, 20-year-old.
I had my second.
They're trying to figure it out still. They're, oh gosh.
Yeah.
Even into their 30s now.
Yeah.
And when I was 29, I built a house. I mean, I didn't build it brick by brick, but I had it built, and I was a single woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I didn't have a big, I didn't give $5 a week for support.
My Lord.
Yeah. Yikes.
For 2 kids.
Yeah.
Oh, mercy. Wow. Oh, okay.
You're laughing.
Don't say that again. Oh my God. Don't tell anyone that. Oh, no.
Wow.
Oh. Gosh, the way times have changed, and we're living in a world now that's moving faster, I think, than anyone ever thought it would. If you pay attention to time, we're almost to the end of January already.
I know. Yep. It goes so fast. Yep.
Yes. And we act like we have a lot of time. I mentioned something the other day, and my daughter was like, "Mom, don't say that." And I said, I had more years behind me than I do in front of me.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she's like, "Don't say that." And I was like, "It's the truth."
Right.
Because it's true, and I look at my life now that I appreciate it now. I think you take it for granted when you're younger. When I was 30, thinking I was so cute back then, as I aged, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what is this thing lying on my face? What is happening?
Wait a minute. You're still so beautiful. I swear to God,
bless
you
your
are
heart,
gorgeous.
bless your heart, honey. But when I thought that I was the cutest thing walking, and now I'd see, the hair is thinning. It's like the rules are coming. You think, oh my goodness. And I'm single, I'm single and been single for 14 years.
Yeah.
And it's like men don't want women this age, 60.
Oh, then go on that Bachelor show.
They want
the
girls
old Bachelor,
who are,
whatever he's called, the Senior Bachelor.
Yes.
You do that, Bonnie.
Oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. No. Madeline, that is what I'm not doing.
Top of her head at 3:00 in the morning again.
No, my kids always say, "Mom, you should date again," and I'm like, and I asked my intuition, should I date again? And it was no. And I said, well, why not? And then I said to myself, because I don't want to.
Yeah, but
it's not important to me right now. At this point, I have something I want to do, and it would be a distraction.
Yeah.
But you know what, Bonnie? The thing is, how many men are really going to understand what we do?
Exactly.
And that's, when you saw,
look,
I like the UFOs,
Right.
Right.
A lot of people think you're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
not me.
I know, but a lot of
but
people
I'm not a
do.
man out there. You're to be with.
And not, and now I'm kind of set in my ways. Now, if I have a friend who says, "Hey, I'd like to, take you out to dinner, to a movie or something," okay, but you're not moving in my house.
Listeners?
I'm
Bonnie's
not moving
available for a movie or dinner.
That's it. I'm not interested in anything else.
Interesting conversation.
Right.
Well, go ahead.
Go ahead, Kaarin.
No, I was just going to say, I go to bed at night. I'm on half of the bed. My dog is on the other half of the bed. There's no room.
Yeah.
No room. Sorry. No room.
Oh, I'm a starfish. Are you kidding? Like, I do the starfish when I'm in bed. I'm in the middle and I'm like, yep, whole bed's mine. Yeah, it's mine.
I like that.
That's me. I'm on one side. The other half is made up just perfectly. Well, it's not now. My grandson jumps in the bed with me every night. But when he's not here, it's one half. I have my remote control. I'm in control of it. I'm setting my ways,
Right.
But again, if I would, and even if someone was going to ask me out, I would have to seek myself, my intuition on that. Mm-hmm. Because you can't trust people these days.
I know.
And it's sad that things are like that now.
That is sad. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And
family and community is so important.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We have to have a set of people around us that we can trust.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Good finding that. You got them right here, Honey, you, Caroline, and me.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
The four amigos.
I have my friends that call me, from different places in the country, and you're the only one I can talk to. Because nobody else understands what I'm talking about.
Yeah, people can get isolated, that's for sure. They can. But that's why, I think these online, like what you're describing, like the virtual, I think these are perfect, for bringing people all over the world together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, I think it's perfect.
We're no longer tethered by our geographical location. Bonnie and I, we're together every day. We're not in the same place, but we are there every day doing our work.
Yeah.
Every day. You don't have to tethered to a place any longer.
No.
It's wonderful. I love it.
And we're two totally different people, raised totally different ways. We're two different nationalities.
Yeah.
We're just two different people who came together for one person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we believed in each other and became friends. And she's utilized me, and I've utilized her in personal matters, in family, long before we came together as the opportunity coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so you never know how Spirit will use you and who He'll bring into your life for a common goal. And that's what's the important thing, is that we want people to be able to come to us and subscribe and be a member, again, of our community. It's important. If you're lonely, if you, because sometimes it's something as simple as just joining, just to have a friendship, make a friendship with that community. But you never know what people need until you ask.
Well, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's very true.
Interesting.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people, they don't know what they need, They just don't know what they need.
And
but don't you wonder how some people, they don't know what they need, or they don't know what they're doing, and everything's in place.
well, isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, that's wonderful.
That's a great thing. That works. Yeah, that works in their benefit. Yeah. It happens. It happens all the time.
I've seen that a lot. They got the perfect husband, the perfect house. They're happy as two peas in a pod. And it's like, what the?
See, I'm suspicious immediately.
Right.
That's wonderful.
You're absolutely right. Because you don't know what goes on.
Have lives like that.
Well, that's true.
And some people do have good lives. They listen to their intuition. That's what they did.
And they have these, the loving. My friends Lucy and Ed. I mean, they took a trip the one time, and I stayed with their mother because the mother was old, and she had a little touch of Alzheimer's. Sure. But when they came home, he says, "Mary, I'm so happy to see you."
Aww.
That's what I said.
Aww.
Yeah. I come in the door and it's like, oh, she's home.
Oh, that's not good. That,
Turn that around.
Yeah, it was exciting. They were Polish. We called her babcia. And I would put these things on, and we do, what were we doing? Like dancing. We would dance. And she was like 80-some. We had a good time, except when they had this parakeet that would sit on your shoulder, and it would sit at the table and eat your food. Well, she grabbed the parakeet one day and put it in her pocketbook and ran in the garage with it.
Oh, no.
I mean, give me the damn bird.
Honey?
I know. I had to call Lucy. I said, she has a bird in her pocketbook.
Oh, my goodness.
And then Eddie got on the phone, and he's telling her, look, Madeline's like Mary Poppins.
Right. Amazing.
Oh, Jesus. I should write a book just to
I was going to say that. You need to put all this into a book.
Definitely.
All these different, because even like the laughter that you share when you tell your stories.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
That'll be on the pages. Yeah.
And the life of Madeline.
Life and times. Yeah.
That was funny, but she took that bird and I thought, holy hell, if the bird dies and Lucy's not.
Oh, no.
No.
Because the bird had a shelf in her pantry. The bird would sit in the pantry on a shelf and had its food, but it would come out and trounce around on the table and eat off of your dish.
Oh, my Lord.
I'd have put him in my purse, too.
It was an interesting parakeet.
Well, I have this new dog. She's new to me. She's about 3 years old. She's my miracle dog. It's the most astounding story. If you want to hear it, why she's a miracle dog.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
She's about 4 months ago now. One of my nephews, Jeff. Oh, Madeline, you know Jeff Jenner. He owns the Ancient Hebrew Learning Center. And he was going down there. He uses his intuition. He's learned from me, thankfully. He uses his intuition going down the road, and he sees a dog. And that dog takes his attention. Something's wrong with that dog. And the dog's just sitting there at the corner of this street. So he goes and does his business, comes back, and the dog is still sitting there. And he looks closer. He said, that dog looks like it's emaciated. I think that dog needs to eat. So Jeff drove home, got 2 bowls, one with water, one with food, came it back and put it there where the dog wasn't there at the moment, but he knew, listening to his intuition, this dog needs this, and he left it there. One other person in the family went by later and saw the dog eating the food, and so members of the family would take more food out and leave it for the dog. And then one day the dog disappeared, and 3 days later, everyone's like, well, I don't know what happened to the dog. We haven't seen it. Jeff gets up in the morning, goes out on his front porch, and there she is, looking at him. 2.5 miles from where he fed her. She found him. And he knew immediately that she had to go to the vet. He picked her up, drove her right to the vet. She was in labor, and she couldn't give birth naturally because her pelvis was broken, and she was riddled with buckshot. Someone shot. All of that, in all of that, she was in labor with a broken pelvis and riddled, and she still went 2.5 miles to find my nephew Jeff. And they had to do a C-section on her because her pelvis, she couldn't give birth naturally because her pelvis was broken. And so she has recovered. All of her puppies have been adopted out into good homes. And now this miracle dog, Ebony, is my girl. And I'm so happy to have her. She
that's wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of dog is it?
She's a Belgian Menoir. I think that's how you say it, Menoir. She's 100% black, which is kind of rare. Most Belgian Menoirs are tan or rust-colored. If you're looking at her, you would say she looks kind of like a Jersey shape of her body and all, kind of like a Labrador Retriever. But she's very distinctly the Belgian Menoir. And I looked the breed up. They were bred in Belgium to be farm dogs.
Oh, I think we're coming to a close here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that wonderful story. Thank you, Kaarin.
What a way to end. Yeah.
Thank you everyone for listening to Revolution Radio, Life in the Hologram, and we'll be back next week on February the 2nd. Bye-bye.